Swaha Sri Ram Dam International Gita Forum 2021 Trinidad and Tobago Academic Forum.
First of all, I would like to appreciate the wonderful organization that has set up this very international forum on the Bhagavad Gita, Swaha. And the very point that I need to share is what I have gained professionally from the Bhagavad Gita. Now, before I read the Bhagavad Gita, I was a follower of Jimmy Cliff. I was a fan of Jimmy Cliff. I was very much an enthusiast of his If I Follow My Mind a track or album. In that very lyrics, Jimmy Cliff mentioned that if I follow my mind, I will never go wrong. And we young people at that time, we thought, wow. So whatever the mind tells us, we have to go after it. But after reading Bhagavad Gita, I realized that was a completely negative philosophy, destructive philosophy, because the Bhagavad Gita tells us that in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna mentioned specifically that in our conditioned state, the mind, the uncontrolled mind, is our worst enemy. And so, basically, the idea is that those who have not been opportune to understand the philosophy of the Gita, or those who have not read the Bhagavad Gita, may not be at an advantage to be able to understand that they do not need to unnecessarily follow the dictates of their mind. Because if you follow the dictates of your mind, you become enslaved by the mind, and no one can satisfy the whims of the mind. So this is one outstanding benefit that I got by from reading the Bhagavad Gita. Now, according to criminology, according to the theory, general theory of crime, low self-control is the major cause of all crimes and antisocial behavior. Now, in the Bhagavad Gita, there is so much of emphasis about control of the senses, control of the mind, not yielding to the senses. Now, what happens generally in our modern society is that there are lots and lots of buzzwords and advertisements on how we condition souls, living beings, how we should become slaves to the dictates of the mind and our senses. Now, Bhagavad Gita basically gives us an information, a very deep information about the implications of being enslaved by the sensory modalities. And so, I have been practicing. I'm not just a reader of Bhagavad Gita. This is the Bhagavad Gita that I have been reading for over 3 decades. And at the same time practicing. This is Bhagavad Gita as it is by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. He is the founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Now, I'm introducing this because there are many Bhagavad Gitas. There are many people who have made some commentaries on the Bhagavad Gita. But in most cases, the commentators are just out to be able to make their own name and without portraying the essence of the Gita. What is the essence of the Gita? Lord Krishna mentions Sarva Dharma Parita Jam, Mamekam Saranam Vrajam, Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo, Moksha Yishyami Masucha. He said, Abandon all other types of religion and just surrender unto me. Now, the reason why I'm bringing up this is that even Professor Oppenheimer, who detonated the atomic bomb that caused so much of destruction in Nagasaki and Hiroshima, even Oppenheimer, the physicist, he quoted Bhagavad Gita when he detonated the atomic bomb, and he saw all of the destruction that was, going on. He said that he was time the destroyer of the worlds, or he was death the destroyer of the worlds. But he never make an attribute to Bhagavad Gita, that this is what Lord Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita. Now, this is very wrong in the academics. As an academic, I have a PhD in applied management and decision sciences. As an academic, when you say something, when you take someone's words, you have to make an attribution. Oppenheimer never made any attribution. People thought those were his words. So, a number of people interpret Bhagavad Gita, read Bhagavad Gita for fulfillment of their own selfish motives. Now, I can share what I have, the knowledge I've gained from Bhagavad Gita, how I have put into use, and it has become very much useful in transforming the social and economic spectrum of the global village. Recently, I conducted a research that was based on chanting Krishna's names. How chanting helps to prevent financial fraud or crime in general. In the Bhagavad Gita 10, text 25, Lord Krishna mentions that he is of all sacrifices, Jagyanam Jagosmi. That of all sacrifices, he is Japa. Japa means, chanting the Lord's holy names softly for individual benefit. So my research was based on the idea that chanting of Krishna's names gives us an opportunity to purify our senses. And when we become purified, we basically become completely uninterested in criminal activities. Criminal mindset becomes thrown into the dustbin of history. So, just like some people may read the Bhagavad Gita and use it for destruction, or some people may read the Bhagavad Gita and they use it for social upliftment, which is social upliftment is also good. But the essence of Bhagavad Gita is that we should become devotees of the Lord, because there is no other process that allows us to become extricated from the shackles of material bondage, from the shackles of repeated birth to death. This material world that we have been trying to manipulate and unduly utilize for our own selfish motives. We will leave all of these stuffs and go away. Empty-handed, we have come naked, we have come into this world, and we definitely will live also in the same way. So, the benefit that I have received from the Bhagavad Gita is basically the idea that, yes, this one life, one should live it in such a way that one is able to get involved in prosecuting or pursuing, developing love of Godhead, love of Krishna. And therefore, I've been involved in this devotional service of Lord Krishna for over 30 years. See, I have skills like everyone else, but this is a greater understanding. So reading the Gita, like I mentioned, has helped me to grow beyond leaps and bounds in terms of evaluating things in the right perspective and being able to be available to people that needed help the most. Because in this world, if we take the knowledge of the Gita, we are all brothers and sisters. Like Krishna have mentioned, Mama, even so, Jiva Loke, Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. We are all eternal living entities, part and parcel of Krishna. But in the conditioned state, we are thinking we are Americans, we are Africans, we are Europeans. And, this type of bodily designation is one of the major instruments, one of the major factors that is contributing to, misunderstanding and feuding or conflicts. So if we come to that point where we all can appreciate the fact that we are all part of the same one family, and we have to serve together, we have to be able to live together, and we don't have to discriminate against people based on their skin color. I mean, see, the Gita gives us such a great insight that we want peace. Read the Gita. We want economic development. Read the Gita. We want social values. Read the Gita. We want pro-spiritual values. Read the Gita. And you see that your life will be transformed. It has happened to so many people, and a number of people who have read the Gita, they've seen how their lives have changed. And reading the Gita is one thing. Implementing the instructions of Lord Krishna, that is the foundation of the transformative change. Because if we do implement even one statement of Lord Krishna in the Gita, we will have our lives completely transformed, and we will help to make the world a better place to live in. So, one major factor that we can carry home with is, let's understand that knowledge is unlimited. Krishna is unlimited. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And even Lord Brahma is the creator of this universe. Even Lord Brahma in his teachings, specifically in the Brahma Samhita, he ends his prayers with Govindam Adipurusam Tamaham Bhajami. He said he worships Lord Krishna, Govinda, the one who is very much in love with the Brahmanas and who is protective of the cows. And so if we take instructions or we hear the wonderful ideas of Lord Brahma, we will stand a chance to be able to transform our lives and become co-investors of wonderful services in human society, wonderful activities that will help to elevate not only our immediate families, but that will help to create, to recreate, to reform the whole of human society. Thank you very much for participating in this Swaha program.
Swaha Sri Ramdam International Gita Forum 2021 Trinidad and Tobago Academic Forum.